Hello and welcome. My name is Space Muffin, and this is the Void Strategy. So look, we are going to take a break from Age of Empires. We got a Warcraft Rumble video going for you. Before we get started, guys, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, guys. It really helps out the channel. Okay, so Headless Horseman and the Dire Batlings, okay? I've been playing with these minis. They're super fun. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with them. So let's go ahead and talk about this deck real quick. This is a typical Blood Mage deck. You know, you're going to be running Bane. And then, of course, you're going to run our typical Headless Horseman. As far as the talents go, haven't really been able to play with the talents as much. But Nigh Death Experience looks really good. Night Watch, you know, looks okay. But really... Nigh Death Experience is probably the one I would go for. As far as the one that gives Bloodlust, that one's good too, but there's just so much stuff that gives Bloodlust that I don't think it's very necessary. Okay, so let's talk about the Dire Batlings. All these are pretty decent. Midnight's Call is like the one that I would kind of like not do, but depending on the build that you're doing, that's kind of what we're looking for. So Guano Happens, that's the talent that we're going to be using for this particular deck. So I've gotten really far in PvP with this deck. We're also going to be running the Meat Wagon with, I can't pronounce this one, Flay Tributes or whatever it's called. I can't pronounce it, but that one. Obviously, a Chain Lightning with Reverberation. We have our Ghoul with Bone Shield. We have our Arcane Blast with Amplification. It's really good. So what we want to do is, the idea of the deck is buff the Blood Mage, but send out these guys to deal with, the specific threats. It's actually really, really effective. So I'm going to show you this deck in high-level PvP, and let's go and get started. Awesome, guys. So I want to demonstrate how this deck works in a high-level PvP situation. So... obviously, I think the weakness to this deck, ironically, is something like Sylvanas, things that can really get rid of the bats, things that can really gain control of your dudes. But, the key here is resources, obviously. Making sure you get that gold. Blood Mage is going to come out. He's doing his thing. We have very similar decks, not a big deal. And so what we do is we try to pop the Blood Mage. And let's see. So let's go ahead and try to pop everybody at once. Boom, they all get popped, and then Blood Mage is down. Our Blood Mage is going up. And what I like to do is put out some threats in the other lane. Okay? So he's got his Blood Mage, we got our Blood Mage. It's a battle for this tower right here. I think we got it. Blood Mage is dead, though, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and send out the Miner to mine in the middle. So the Guano Happens. As you can see, it's incredibly good. Very helpful. And, it's one of those situations where, you're able to really, have that, trail of poison, basically, is kind of what we're doing here. So he's going to start attacking. We got to get our guys out. We got to do our thing. Really put the pressure on. And the key is to buff that Blood Mage to where, but then also get rid of his Blood Mage, right? So that's kind of the key here. And so just put out threats, and hopefully we can sneak in some gold here. He's really trying to get rid of that Blood Mage before, we start popping things. But, hopefully we get a little bit in, and we're just trying to break that barrier down. So we are getting gold. He's not using his Blood Mage properly. He's putting out a little bit too much. So let's go ahead and see what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and put out some threats. Let's put out our Blood Mage. Let's start... Yeah, there we go. So, buffing the Blood Mage. And because we got the mines, we're doing good. And eventually what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get rid of that. But as you can see, the Blood Mage is so high right now that there's really not much he can do. And that's kind of what you want to put your opponent in. You want to put him in a situation where it's like a catch-22, where he doesn't know what to do. And, we get that speed from the ability, and we win. Awesome. So, the thing about this deck is you really, in that high-level gameplay like this, you really have to pay attention to the map, obviously, be aware of kind of what's happening, and understand how to deal with the threats. That's the key here. So he's not running jeweled skeletons on the Baron, so that's good. But the Baron is still going to be a problem. So let's go ahead and try to wipe these guys out before they become too much of an issue. And then really let the Blood Mage do his thing. He's already level 14. We're going to be able to pop some bats. We're going to be able to pop some people. I'm actually going to have him go this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have... Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Okay, yeah, very good, very good. Hopefully we can get some speed off. Plop another Blood Mage out. Perfect, this is exactly what we want. They're doing their thing. And then let's just start bombarding them. So that's a lost cause. I'm not going to say it's a lost cause, but like there's a lot going on over there. We do have to start to deal with these guys here. The threat here, and yeah, so he's trying. He's trying. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is tough. This is tough, but I think if we play our cards right, we can make it happen. Yeah, so we got 3 Blood Mages out. Very good. And then, so that's going to allow us to really overwhelm our opponents here. Awesome, guys. So this is actually an incredibly good map for the bats. I want to take the time to explain exactly how the deck works, because I know these high-level games are very chaotic. So you want to use your Headless Horseman to run after things like chest and, things where you need, like, speed, basically. You want to use the Ghoul to more or less tank for the Blood Mage. You want to use the bats to kind of deal with any units that are not flying, basically. So as you can see, the bats are kind of doing their thing over there. And so as you can see, he's got the Horseman up. He's got a lot of dudes up, but he's kind of walking into the bats. So the bats, like, are very powerful in that sense that they can, just start taking stuff. Or not taking stuff, but leaving down the that trail of poison, basically. And so, as you can see right here, we were able to get a couple hits off. We're not really able to do much, just because, he's got that that range damage going. But so far, so good. We're able to get some stuff off. Hopefully, we can grab these 2 chests here. Hopefully, we can mine a little bit. That's kind of the goal, and we got 1 chest. Let's plop out the mage. Let's plop out him. We got 2 mages going, so let's go ahead and really try to create some threats for these guys. Yeah, very good. Okay, so the mage is, like, so powerful right now that there's not much he's going to be able to do. And by him actually putting these units out, it's actually making the mage more powerful. And so what I can do then to distract him is start putting out threats in the left-hand lane here. And what that's going to do is that's just going to put out a couple of threats. But we got the mage up, so, I mean, not seeing, like, too much bad stuff happen. But so, go ahead and put out the Horseman. He put out his Horseman. So as you can see, he's using a very similar strategy to us. We put out our Horseman a little bit better of a time than he did. But we really got to start pushing this situation here. Now that we have the gold advantage, we really want to start pushing. So, not a big deal, Put out the mage, start really cracking people. And then, yep, he's going to do that. And then what we do is we really got to come in and try to take that tower. While protecting our tower, obviously. And then, so we put these guys out. And let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can take him to town. So this is a great situation where... Is the mage out still? Yep, he's out. He's doing his thing. Got multiple mages. When you get multiple mages out, it's actually, like, incredibly good, obviously. But, yeah, so, like, they're distracted, and then we just try to kind of go in and do our thing. As a bonus, guys, I want to show you how this deck fares against, PvE situations, specifically the Halloween event, the Wereworgen event. So, it's the same principle, just play the mage, and then what's cool about this in the PvE situation is the fact that you get additional spells that also are going to basically make the Blood Mage more powerful than he already is. And so that's good right there. Then, you can just pop stuff. It's pretty, like I said, this deck is actually incredibly good. Them adding these 2 undead units has made the undead faction probably the most powerful faction, to be honest. And Blood Mage is so powerful that, as you can see, not much anybody can do. And, it's pretty easy to survive and actually, win these PvE situations. And then, of course, the same principle. Start mining. Start putting out threats. Blood Mage is so powerful that, like, I like to play the Blood Mage way back here, just so he's got time to kind of gather momentum. And then you can, like, turn people, you can turn some of them. The bats are also good on this level. You play them back, they'll start dropping Guado. And, you can kind of really develop a situation. So, once again, I like to build decks that are, like, relatively diverse, decks that can work in PvP and PvE, And this is one of those decks, guys. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. I know I've been talking pretty fast, but, it's fun. It's a really fun deck. Awesome, guys. So there you have it. Blood Mage with Dire Bats and with the Headless Horseman, guys. Once again, this deck is amazing for events. This deck it's just an all-around good deck. And as you can see with my PvE games, our PvP games, this deck is incredible in PvP. It's great in PvE. It's great for dungeons, guys. It's just an all-around fun deck. So please hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Really appreciate you. And you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next video.